Yesterday we have learned about the structure of the kidney and the function of the urinary system. Hope you have understood, and I have also told you to draw the diagrams. Please continue drawing the diagrams in your practical book so that when you come back to the college, you will be ready for your exams. Today we are going to learn about the functions of the kidney. The first and foremost function is the formation of urine. This function comprises of three aspects: filtration, selective reabsorption, and the secretion. First, filtration. This takes place through the semi-permeable membrane of the glomerulus and the glomerular capsules. Water and other substances like small molecules, they readily pass through the semi-permeable membrane, but the larger molecules cannot be passed, like protein, and that is being secreted in the urine. Filtration also takes place because there is a difference between the pressure in the blood pressure and the pressure in the glomerulus. Autoregulation. The renal blood flow and glomerular filtration that is protected by the mechanism called autoregulation, whereby renal blood flow is maintained at a constant pressure across the wide range of systolic blood pressure. It means it does not depend on the brain, but the kidney has its own capacity for the maintaining of the blood pressure. In severe shock, when the systolic blood pressure falls below 80 mm of Hg, autoregulation fails and the renal blood flow and the hydrostatic pressure decreases, and that impairs the filtration. The second, selective reabsorption, means only certain molecules as well as the chemicals will be reabsorbed that are useful for the body. Most reabsorption from the filtrate back into the blood takes place in the proximal convoluted tubules, whose walls are lined with the microvilli to increase the surface areas. Many substances are reabsorbed, including water, electrolytes, and organic nutrients like glucose. Some reabsorption is passive, and that is transported. Only 60 to 70% of the filtrate reaches the medullary loop. In the loop, around 15 to 20% of the original filtrate reaches, and lately it reaches to the distal convoluted tubules. More electrolytes are reabsorbed here, especially the sodium. So the filtrate entering the collecting ducts is actually quite dilute. The main function of the collecting duct is to reabsorb as much as water it can. Some ions like sodium and potassium, also the chloride, can be absorbed both as active and passive mechanism. Reabsorption of the nitrogenous substance, waste product like urea, uric acid, and the creatinine is also very limited. The kidney's maximum capacity for reabsorption of the substance is the transport maximum, is also known as renal threshold. It means how much amount of the kidney can reabsorb any particular molecule or the substance. The hormones that influence the selective reabsorptions are parathyroid hormone, that is secreted by the parathyroid gland, antidiuretic hormone ADH, that is secreted by the posterior pituitary gland, aldosterone, that is secreted in the adrenal cortex, and this hormone increases the reabsorption of the sodium and water. Atrial natriuretic peptide ANP, this hormone is secreted by the atria of the heart in response to the stretching of the atrial wall when the blood volume is increased. And the last portion is the tubular secretion. Filtration occurs as the blood flows through the glomerulus. Substances not required by the body that are excreted as a foreign material, and also it is known as urine. Some of the drugs like penicillin and aspirins may not be entirely filtered out of the blood because of the short time it remains in the glomerulus. And thus, tubular secretion of the hydrogen ions is also important in maintaining normal blood pH.